Welcome back to this week's episode. Today we're taking an open house of one of our listings here in Roswell. Actually, as far as me recording this right now, the property's already pending. So if you guys fall in love with this property, please don't. Just know ahead of time that it's already pending pretty much. And it's a very quick sale. The first time it fell out of contract, and then pretty much right after it came back on the market, it sold again. So excellent property, but this is pretty much a flip. It's not a new construction. It looks like one, but it's more or less a flip that they took from April of last year and then made it into the property it is today. But it's a very interesting fact. One being that this is kind of the price range where you start to have somewhat sizable homes in the Roswell area that start to become really, really nice, especially if you don't go too far up in the square footage. You go up to like 4,000, 5,000 square feet, and you're in like the $750,000 price range. You're not going to get so nice, but anywhere around 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, you start to get pretty nice homes, especially in this square footage. Now, that's a lot of money, especially for this house, and some of you may feel like that. This is a very premium model, but the average price point here is about $650,000, and it isn't really until you tip over, I would say, $750,000 that you start to consistently see some really, really nice homes that actually have really cool features in them, and when you move right in, you can pretty much enjoy everything right off the bat. But one cool thing I noticed about this property, and happens with a ton of flips, I don't even know if it's cool, but the thing that I want to talk about is that a lot of times in flips, nobody really touches the yard. The yard is more or less almost always untouched when someone does a flip. And a lot of you may have noticed, especially if you're searching for homes, that this is certainly a thing that goes on with a lot of them. So I want to know what you guys feel like, because a lot of resale properties, they've done their backyards. They do a lot of stuff to the backyard and actually make it cool. So would you rather have a pretty normal property where you could do the interior of the property, or would you rather have a property like this where it's sold at a premium and it's very nice on the inside, but you have to do pretty much everything that you're ever going to do to the backyard or the front yard yourself? So guys, I want to know your differences. I want to see what you guys are thinking. Let me know in the comments. And also, a couple people have been talking about how I actually film these videos, and I want to kind of put that out there. So I pretty much film all of these videos just walking through the property. In fact, in this video, I'm just holding an open house, but it's just walking through the property just as someone would actually see the home if they were walking through it themselves. So I don't do any kind of fancy editing. You know, I do a little cuts here and there, but I really want it to actually feel like the house, because I watched a video on like sailing boats. I got it like I thought it would be really cool to buy one. They're only like $5 million, like way down the road kind of dream. But I only like the videos where the person was actually like walking on the boat and looking at it. And I wanted to make all the house videos that I ever made something like that, so you can actually get a kind of like a three-dimensional gauge of what it feels like to walk as a human through this, and not some camera is like floating through space and has all these like cool edits and everything. That doesn't make a home feel like what the home actually feels like. I feel like this is a much more real representation of what something would feel like if you were to look at it. So if you ever wonder why my camera style is just me walking through a house, it's because I want it to be as closely linked to reality as it possibly can. So that is why. But guys, without further ado, let's get into this house right here in the middle of Roswell.